voice that is being ignored in the discussion, and that voice are the Ghanaians who live abroad and have not gone back to Ghana and do not want to go back to Ghana. I think their voices are not heard. Hello, hi everyone, this is Miriam. Welcome to my channel where I speak about all things Ghana, from movies to TV shows and social topics. I'm here. I'm introducing a new series on my channel that is called Let's Talk. And in this series, I will speak about various social topics, and it's basically a series to bring about a discussion. You know, a social topic that I'm interested in, that I think, you know, needs to be talked about more, or that I want to talk about. I bring it on this channel. And today I am kind of introducing the first episode of the Let's Talk series. To be honest, I don't actually need a label, but you know, because this channel I will also speak about movies and fun things and other things, I think it's important to put a label on these kind of social topics because they are very relevant. Okay, so for the first episode of Let's Talk now, I will speak about the year of return and the whole concept of going back home in regards to like going back home to invest and contribute as Ghanaians who live in the diaspora. Before I even get into it, I'm the kind of person you have to get to know. I'm the kind of person who is very open-minded in a good way. I am someone who likes to hear different perspectives, and I also like to highlight the various perspectives. Like if everybody's going this way, or if a lot of people are going this way, or if someone is bringing something to me and saying this is the way it goes, I like to go deeper and I like to go through different angles to try and understand what it's about, and also highlight the perspectives that I think is not as highlighted or not at the forefront as it should be, because I think that in the world there are different perspectives on things. And so with the year of return and the movement, I want to speak about a different side to it. I want to highlight different side to it. I hope that you get to learn something from it. I am Ghanaian, for those who don't know. Ghanaian, born in the diaspora. What is the year of return? I was looking for the perfect definition for it, and I'm not even going to lie, Wikipedia gave me the perfect definition for it. I'm not someone who does my research just on Wikipedia, but Wikipedia gave me the perfect definition for it, and I thought I'd share. So the year of return, Ghana 2019, is an initiative of the government of Ghana that is intended to encourage African diasporans to come to Africa, specifically Ghana, to settle and invest in the continent. It was formally launched by President Nana Akufo-Addo. So what are the objectives of the year of return? What is it about? So first, to make Ghana a key travel destination for African Americans and the rest of the African diaspora. Secondly, to rebuild the lost past of these 400 years. Thirdly, to promote investment in Ghana and foster relationships with African Americans and the African diaspora. Okay, so that's what the year of return is about. So it was initially launched in 2019, and of course there are also various definitions and different ways to interpret it as well. But I think that this definition and the different objectives for what it is very accurate. I was looking around and I was like, you know what, as a Ghanaian, it's such a great joy, honestly, to see that Ghana has become kind of the hot spot for even December, for Christmas. I mean, it's a pleasure for me to see that, because when I first started YouTube, I can assure you that Ghana was not, there was not as many videos related to Ghana. So it's a good thing. As a Ghanaian, of course, you'll be proud to see people encouraging people to invest in Ghana. It's a great joy. However, I think that the content that we see surrounding Ghana being, oh, these people invested in Ghana, these people bought houses in Ghana, and videos about people living their best life in Ghana, people who have traveled to Ghana and have created businesses and have made it, and a lot of success stories. There's so much message about going back home. However, I think that it is not balanced, and there's also a voice that is being ignored in the discussion, and that voice are the Ghanaians who live abroad and have not gone back to Ghana and do not want to go back to Ghana. I think their voices are not heard, Also, I think that people who travel to Ghana or have just decided to, you know what, Ghana is not for me, their voices are not heard because I guess it's not picture perfect. And so I feel like those voices are not heard. And so you have people who travel to Ghana or who travel to a country without much preparation based on what they have seen in the media, based on what people have told them, based on somehow the glorification of Ghana. Ghana is glorious, but I think that because there's not as many, because the conversation is not balanced, and because we do not hear enough of about, you know, there's not enough videos about, you know, the preparation that goes into traveling to a different country. There's not enough discussion about kind of highlighting those who traveled to Ghana and decided to go back. Those voices I feel are silent and not really out there. And so I'll just give you 4 different scenarios, reasons why Ghanaians, there are Ghanaians out there born in the diaspora who have not gone back to Ghana and who do not want to start businesses in Ghana. I'll give you 4 different reasons, because I think it's very important that those people who decide not to go back to Ghana to start a business or whatever, I think it's very important to hear them. And for this video, I actually spoke to family members and I did my research, and of course also using my experience as a Ghanaian based on what I have seen growing up and what I know, because honestly there's nothing better than experience. When you're Ghanaian, you've seen things. It prevents people from judging, because when you don't know, then you judge. You be like, oh my gosh, this person, they haven't been to Ghana in 20 years. Ghana, Ghanaians in the diaspora, they don't want to go back to Ghana. Haven't been to Ghana in 20 years. You know what? All of this kind of gossip goes around when you don't know the story, and I think it's very important to understand the story. So first of all, one reason why you have Ghanaians in the diaspora and are not going to Ghana to start businesses or to live there. Life happens. Life happens. Family, having family, you know, you having family, and in your mind it's like, oh my gosh, I miss my family, I want to go back to Ghana, I need to do something in Ghana. But then you have a family, and so yes, they've always wanted to go back to Ghana, but because they have a family, because they got married, because of finances, they just could not go. And then it's been 10 years, it's been 20 years. And guys, I'm 29, but when I was younger, I couldn't understand adults who were not doing what they want to do. I couldn't understand it, because when you're young, when you're a child, you think, like, I remember there was like a doll when I was younger that I really wanted. I remember I went to a shop and I really wanted this doll, like this baby doll. That baby doll was perfect. Like, it cried, it looked like a real baby, like it cried when it was hungry. I really wanted that baby doll, and my mom was like, we are not gonna get it. And I was so upset, guys. I can even remember it now. I was so upset, like, you have the money, like, why don't you want to buy it? And there's so many things that I wanted, and when my parents said no, I couldn't understand it. Okay, we are not going to Ghana this year. Why? We are not doing this year. Why? If you have the money, why not buy it? In my head, as a child, you think that everything is possible, and if you're an adult, you can just do whatever you like. But then you grow up. You grow up, and then you realize that in life, even though there's something that you really want to do, life makes it very hard to do these things. Sometimes you really want to travel, but then the timing is really off because there's something going on and you can't afford to travel, or you can afford to travel but you can't travel at this point in time. And so the first reason why you see some people that have not gone back to Ghana for a while, it's just the timing. Secondly, another reason, that one is a deep one. That one is a deep one, guys. Another reason why you would see some people who are just decided not to, have not been to Ghana in a long time, or even just people like me who are like young and millennials and are like, no, in their mind, they don't necessarily want to go to Ghana. Especially for those who were born in Ghana and then moved to the UK or moved abroad. It's because of trauma. It's because of trauma, guys, I think. And hardship that some associate with Ghana. Guys, let's keep it real. I think You know, for us here, now Ghana, oh my gosh, everybody's excited. But for some of our parents or some of our elders, or not even some of our elders, even just people who are our age and travel to abroad a bit later in life, for some people, I think that when Ghana is mentioned, they associate Ghana with hardship growing up and trying to build something, trying to work. When you tell them that you want to go back to Ghana, they're like, why do you want to go to Ghana? Ghana is hard, Ghana is difficult. They have not been able to make the adjustment in their brain. A lot of people have this mindset that in order to go to Ghana, they really need to make it, you know, and so they really need to make it, they really need to have money. Third reason why some people will travel to Ghana, Ghanaians abroad, they will travel to Ghana but not necessarily start a business or invest in that way, is because they do not have the desire to do so. And for those in this category, that does not make them less of a Ghanaian than the person who traveled to Ghana and bought houses, who traveled to Ghana and invested in real estate, or started a restaurant or opened a restaurant. They would travel to Ghana and stuff like that, but they do not necessarily have the desire to start a business. They do not have the business acumen to start a business. That's why I think it's important to kind of define the word invest. I think that there are various ways to invest in a country, and though there's so much emphasis on the business aspect, I think there should also be other emphasis on what it means to invest. There are different ways to invest, and some people just don't have the business acumen to start businesses. They've done it before, but it was just not for them, and that's why. Do you guys know there was a time on YouTube where there were so many creators who traveled to Ghana and who lived abroad and traveled back to Ghana and kind of vlogged their journey. I think of the Achampon family, love their channel. I think about Vanessa Kambi, yes, the queen. I think about, you know, there was also Marisha. Living in Ghana is just a different thing to traveling in Ghana. And when they decided to go back to the UK or the Netherlands, a lot of people were like a bit confused. Like, you guys are the ones who we looked up to and stuff, and you guys are going back to the UK. And their Chompo family, Anna, was very open about the fact that she just couldn't find what she wanted in Ghana. You know, not enough schools for her children outside of Accra. And through interviews, she was very open about the struggles and how it was very hard to adjust. This conversation, I think, is very important to have, because you have people who traveled to Ghana and tried to see how it was, and it just didn't really work for them. That does not make them less of a Ghanaian. That does not mean they didn't do their part. And then the fourth reason would be lack of trust. Lack of trust is the reason why some people decide not to start businesses. They tried to start a business, but somehow maybe someone betrayed them because they were not in Ghana, and so someone betrayed them. Things didn't work out the way someone said it would, and so lack of trust. Oh my gosh, if that's how my people are, then I'm not going to do anything in Ghana. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but there's that as well. I spoke to someone and they said that, can you imagine like going through something like that if not for the fact that you really love Ghana and you know that not everybody is like that, then you wouldn't even want to go back. It's like, oh my gosh, my own people are betraying me, and why would I, you know? So that's another reason. That was more so the negative side, but that's another reason. But as I said, the third reason was just no business desire, or even everybody has it in them. Not because it's Ghana, but it's normal. We all have countries that we see ourselves live. The fifth reason that I think, honestly, for me is the most important reason, and the one that I'm really happy to highlight, why you have Ghanaians who live in diaspora and are not starting businesses in Ghana, not living in Ghana, but they're traveling to Ghana, is because they are choosing to invest in different ways. There are people who invest by, when they go to Ghana, these people, they buy. People who live in Ghana and who sell stuff, they know that when that person comes to Ghana, they're my number one customer. You know, there's some people like that who, when they go to Ghana, they have their shops where they go to buy stuff, and it's like they buy. That's the way that these people choose to invest. There are people who do that by where they are, they bring Ghana where they are. If you've come to the UK before, especially London or South London or even East London, you would see Ghana everywhere because of Ghanaians who are creating businesses here. That person, you can't tell me that that person, because they're not living in Ghana and have not started the business in Ghana, they're not doing much. You know, there are people as well who are investing or who are kind of promoting Ghana or helping their countries by investing in their children. I think years ago I made a video how to be connected to your culture or something like that, and I mentioned that my parents are not the ones who told me to start this YouTube channel. When I traveled to Ghana in 2016 to make a documentary on disability, and I'm the one who told my parents, Mom and Dad, please, I want to go to Ghana to make that documentary. My parents are not the ones who told me, hey Miriam, you need to go back to Ghana and you need to do that. No, I'm the one who decided to go. And when I went on national radio, it's not my parents who were like, oh Miriam, you need to do that. What my parents did is they're so joyful. The joy is so infectious that you cannot help but love Ghana. I grew up in a home that, you know, my parents spoke Twi with me. Not all the time, they mixed it with English a little bit, but they spoke Twi with me. They ate Ghanaian food. Ghanaian movies were always playing. They did that with so much joy, not because, hey, my child, no, they did it with so much joy. And then now I ended up being the one who is like having this YouTube channel and speaking about Ghana all the time. So that's, my parents invested in me by speaking to me about the Ghanaian culture. Yeah, so these are the things that I wanted to highlight, those different reasons, 5 different reasons why some Ghanaians who live in Ghana, who live abroad, we're just not buying houses and starting businesses, and that's okay, because I think if we're not careful, you know, people who are not in Ghana and are not creating business, you might make them feel less than or feel like they're not doing enough because they're not doing all of that. So I think it's very important to highlight this different side and tell you, if you're Ghanaian and you're living abroad, just know that you're not less of a Ghanaian than the person who left the UK or Canada to start all of those businesses. You're not less of a Ghanaian, you're not less worthy. You have your reason, you have your story. One thing that I would say, however, is that if you have a desire to go to Ghana and do something there, I would say it's never too late. That's one thing that I would say. It's never too late. It's never too late. Even if you're 50, if you're 40, even if you're 30 and it's like, you're a bit scared for those reasons that I mentioned, like, oh my gosh, is it the same Ghana? Oh my gosh, so many people are doing it, it's so saturated, You're wasting time. Don't look at what other people are doing. Whatever is in your heart to do it. However, if you are a Ghanaian and you live abroad and you are choosing to invest in different ways that I have not mentioned, but for you, maybe living there is not for you, or starting a business, you haven't thought about it yet, then it's okay too. And so I just want to give grace to people who are in this category. There's so much that goes into living in a different country, and so I think, you know, there should be more voices talking about the journey. So yes, I'm so happy I made this video because it's something I really wanted to talk about, because I think that everyone's story is worth highlighting. I love stories, and you know what, for you if you didn't know, I did broadcast journalism. I think it can be felt, and so I just think it's so important to highlight different perspectives and to bring balance to things. I think it's so important, because everyone's story is worth sharing. And before you judge, or before you say, oh, someone is not getting enough, or someone is not doing it, oh, you're not doing enough, or you're not contributing, no, it's important to just listen and hear. Okay, cool, you haven't been to Ghana in like 20 years, let's talk. You went to Ghana and it didn't work out, let's talk. Or cool, you don't have a desire to start a business, that's okay too, let's talk. It's important. We are all Ghanaians, we are all proud. I think what's important is to be proud of where you are from. I'm sending love to everyone, and even African Americans and who, you know, travel to Ghana or during the year of return, or are thinking of traveling outside of the US to an African country. Prepare, do a bit of preparation before you go, and just, you know, best of luck in your journey as well. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. We have so many more conversation. If you haven't watched my last video, in my last video I was talking about Ghanaian movies and the lack of digitalization of Ghanaian movies. So if you like Ghanaian movies and if you want to hear my take on them, then watch my last video. So please subscribe, ring the bell so that you don't miss any video, and also follow me on Instagram if you want to, and send me a DM if you have a request. Maybe you have a story, or maybe you can relate to the thing that I've mentioned in this video and you want me to interview you. Let me know and we'll do something. Alright, thank you so much guys for watching. See you on my next video. Bye.